All right, week 7 NFL picks. Kansas City -3 at Denver. Once again, all my odds come from Bet365. That's the site I use to gamble on. I do like to play a couple pro line tickets every week, but that's more for just the long shot 12 team point spread bullshit. $2 to win 2 grand type thing. I play my serious money on Bet365 though every week on all sports. Kansas City -3. KC's dropped 2 in a row. Can the run D be enough to prevent Denver's offense from keeping this game close and maybe pulling off an upset? The Chiefs have dropped 2 straight. I like Mahomes and the Chiefs to bounce back this week. Tyreek Hill looked good in his first game back last week, so I'm going to go with Kansas City. Kansas City is the 3-point favorites. I like them to win and cover this game. Arizona +3 at the New York Giants. Giants are 3-point favorites. Looks like Saquon's going to be back. He practiced fully today, Wednesday. I am going to roll with Arizona in this one. The battle of Kyler Murray versus Daniel Jones, 2 quarterbacks. Arizona, I know, won last year, 23-0 in Arizona. Totally different teams this year. But I'm going to roll with Arizona. I think their offense has finally found a bit of a groove the last couple weeks. They finally got that win out of the way. So I'm going to roll with Arizona because I'm just not so sure Saquon's totally healthy. If I thought Saquon's ankle was fully healthy and he'd go out there and give it the whole game, then I might switch my pick. So bear in mind with the Saquon Barkley situation, and you got to use your money how you wish. This is how I'm using mine. Houston +1 at Indy. Indy has straight up won and covered 4 of the last 5 games at home against these two. I think they've straight up won 15 of the last 17 at home against Houston. Deshaun Watson, it was his first time of his career without being sacked in back-to-back games. I think Indy's defensive line can get to him. I love Laramie Tunzel on that O-line for Houston, but there's still a lot of problems across that line. I think Indy's going to be able to get to Deshaun Watson. They had that big win against Kansas City last week. Fun game to watch. Watson's headset goes out, and instead of fixing it right away, just phenomenal. I'm going to roll with Indy, though. I'm going to take them as the small home favorites, -1. I like this as being about a field goal game. I just think the difference comes with the weak offensive line with Houston, so Indy gets my money this week. Buffalo, big spread, -17-point favorites, coming off their bye week at home to the Miami Dolphins. Miami situation, they're obviously tanking for Tua. They go for 2 points in that game against Washington. I'm going to roll with the Bills. I think their D is legit. I think they are a solid all-around team. They got Frank Gore, who I expect to have a big day today, and they got the young kid, the rookie, Devin Singletary. He's been a little banged up, but I expect him to be back as well. A good 1-2 punch for Buffalo, and they'll probably win this game something like 24-3 or something like that. Minnesota -2. On the road at Detroit. Detroit, small home dog, coming off that brutal officiating in their game on Monday night against Green Bay that I feel cost them the game. I think there were some shoddy calls, them two that I talked about in my last video. Just bullshit. Dude's never been called for hands to the face penalty in his career, and he gets 2 and 2 drives in a row. Just total bullshit there, in my opinion. I think Detroit bounces back nice and they pull off the home win over Minnesota, even though Minnesota looked unstoppable against a beat-up, banged-up Eagles secondary. And I think that might have been a little bit of a mirage, how good Kirk Cousins can be, because I think Philly's secondary is atrocious right now. So I'm going to roll with Detroit, home dogs, taking the points. Oakland +5.5. At Green Bay, -5.5, coming off that big win in Detroit. Green Bay, Oakland was in London. They lit up that good Bears defense. I don't see them pulling that off 2 weeks in a row, but it has got me to say that I like Green Bay to win the game, but I like Oakland to cover the 5.5 points. I think this game might be a little closer than people expect. I love Green Bay. Green Bay might be the cream of the NFC, but I think Oakland has shown me enough to keep this game close against a solid Bears defense. Maybe if they had done that to a different team, I wouldn't feel the same way. But that Bears defense, they've allowed, 64 points all fucking year? That is just unbelievable. I know it's a low number, well under 100. San Fran's the only other team, I believe, who's allowed under 100. But anyways, Jacksonville minus 3.5 at Cincinnati plus 3.5. I like Jacksonville. They got Ramsey's situation settled. I just don't trust Cincinnati at all. I do not trust Cincinnati at all this year. So I'm going to bet against them most weeks, and I feel very comfortable. I might lose four times betting against Cincinnati this year, but that's fine, because if I win 12 out of 16 betting against Cincinnati, I'll be very happy and I'll be in the profit. So I am rolling with Jacksonville, 3.5 point road favorites. LA Rams, 3-point road favorites in Atlanta. Atlanta seems to have dominated this matchup in recent years, but I think they're an absolute mess right now. They can't get anything rolling. The red zone offense is terrible. I'm going to go with the Rams to bounce back and take this and cover the 3-point spread. Jalen Ramsey effect. I'm not sure how much of an effect he'll be in his first game. He is a shutdown corner. He doesn't really need a playbook. Just line him up against the receiver, and he's going to be on him. So I'll roll with the Rams in a big win. I think they're going to win this one pretty easily myself. San Fran, unbeaten, 9.5 point road favorites in Washington. I like San Fran to win this game, but I think Washington will stay close enough and cover. I think this game, again, will be a lot closer than most people are thinking, because they'll look at San Fran, what they've done lately, how they're unbeaten, and they'll just automatically pick them. They're very public choice. I know I've got a lot of favorites on my books too, but hey, sometimes you got it. So I'm going to roll with San Fran to win the game, Washington to cover the 9.5 points. LA Chargers +2 on the road at Tennessee, -2 point favorites. These are two of the most confusing fucking teams to me. Marcus Mariota has been benched by Tennessee, so you got another young quarterback coming into the NFL this year, either taking a job because of injury or just poor play or whatnot. I'm going to say something about the Mariota sitting is going to spark Tennessee. Maybe Derrick Henry has a big day today. I'm going to take my chances on Tennessee. The Chargers are just way too injury riddled to support on the road. And that's the main reason why I'll roll with Tennessee, actually. That and just a hunch from the QB switch up. I am going to take Tennessee as 2-point favorites. Baltimore +3 on the road to Seattle, -3. First and third in rushing attempts, these two teams, Baltimore and Seattle. It should be a real grinded out ground game. I think that Baltimore will actually win this game by a last minute field goal. I think Tucker gets them the win in the end, a tough road game, and I will roll with Baltimore on the road taking the points. New Orleans +3 at Chicago. Only 6 fourth quarter points scored all year by the Chicago Bears. Are you kidding me? I think Miami Dolphins have more. Although the Miami Dolphins, I don't think, have scored a single third quarter point all season. So, tit for tat. But I think the Bears defense will be able to shut down Teddy Bridgewater. I think this will be another low-scoring game. This will probably be like a 13-10 game, 10-7, 16-13, something like that. I'm going to roll with the home team in this. I'll go with the Bears D, taking control of things and handing New Orleans a loss this week. Philly +3 at Dallas, -3, your Sunday nighter. My favorite team against my most hated team, but I've got a lot of friends who are Cowboy fans out there as well. A lot of friends who are Eagles fans. Shit, up here in Canada, you know people who are fans of just about every fucking team in the NFL. So, let's see. Both these teams are beat up. Both these teams are hurt. Both teams are coming off losses. Philly probably had the dumbest play call of the week last week with that fake fucking field goal. And Dallas probably had the worst loss of the week, losing to the New York Jets. So which team is in worse shape? Dallas is down their left guard, I believe. The right tackle is hurt. I'm not sure if he'll be playing. They got other injuries throughout the roster. Amari Cooper's a question mark. And if he can't be out there to exploit some of the Philadelphia's secondary issues, then I really don't like Dallas's chances, because the Eagles are legit run defense. They are the best in the league against the run. Their issue is the pass. If they could shore up their secondary, they'd be a true contender. But until they do that, they're going to be battling with Dallas. Both these teams are going to go neck and neck all fucking year. I still believe that. as much as it pains me to say, and I'm sure it pains Cowboys fans to say the same thing. I think the difference in this game is Jason Garrett. So I'm going to roll with the Eagles because of you, Jason Garrett. That is why I like my Eagles this week to win and cover the spread. And don't get me wrong, these two teams usually split 1-1. So I'm either going to get both these picks wrong because I'll probably roll with Dallas in the last game because I went with Philly in this one, or whatever. So be it. I'm going to roll with Philly. I just think they're set up better this week. I think Jason Garrett is... Man, that dude should be on the fucking hot seat right now. Jerry Jones needs to get rid of Jason Garrett. The Cowboys are just... They got too much talent to look as inept as they have over the last 3 weeks, and I think that comes down to coaching. I don't think the execution has been outright atrocious by the Cowboys players so much. I think they've been in the wrong schemes at the wrong times, wrong play calls, wrong scripting of at the start of the game. I don't know. I'm going to roll with the Eagles in this one. And your Monday nighter, New England, minus 9.5 point favorites at the New York Jets. I like New England to win this game, but I'd like the Jets to cover. I think this game will stay close. I think New England's offense has struggled a lot this year. Their defense has kept them in games. They haven't been blowing anybody out at all season except, Miami, but like a couple teams who you figure they should roll over anyways, who you figure almost any team in the NFL should roll over, except for that bottom 3 or 4. So I'm going to roll with New England to win, Jets to cover. That's my Week 7 picks. Peace.